The main thing that I've learned from all these J. Cole interviews is that it's not really what you say, because if people don't like you, they're going to hear what they want to hear anyway. J. Cole a few months ago released his latest album, The Fall Off, and now he's in the middle of his press tour. So over the last few days, we've gotten a lot of J. Cole interviews, and some people are pissed. I've made a bunch of J. Cole videos at this point, but if you're new to the channel, I'm a big fan of J. Cole. I've purchased every single album that this man has ever released. And with all these interviews that we've gotten over the last few days, we've gotten a lot of interesting information. So J. Cole talked about a lot of different things, and J. Cole gave his point of view of all the events that took place over the last 2 years. And one thing that he talked about that really caught my eye was first-person shooter. If my memory is correct, I feel like the story that we regular people got was that Drake and Cole already had the record, and then they tried to get Kendrick on it. But according to J. Cole, Drake already had the record, and he sent it to Kendrick Lamar hoping to get Kendrick Lamar on the song. It would be the first Drake and Kendrick Lamar song in probably well over 10 years at this point. And Kendrick Lamar probably didn't want to do it, took too long to do it, so Boy Wonder recommended that Drake gets J. Cole on the record. Drake sent the record to J. Cole, and that's how we got the record that we know today as First Person Shooter. The reason that's so fascinating to me is because you can kind of look at it two different ways, and honestly, I can see both sides. From Kendrick Lamar's perspective, Kendrick is probably looking at Drake like, nigga, I don't like you. I don't like nothing about you. I don't want to do this record with you. And from Kendrick's perspective, I fully 100% get that, because I'm kind of the same way too. If I don't like you, I don't want nothing to do with you. But you can also look at it a different way. You can say, hey, Drake is saying, yo, let's put our issues to the side. I mean, Control at that point was 11 years ago. We never had any physical confrontations. It was never anything serious. We could just put our issues to the side and we could have a hip hop moment. We could really do this for hip hop. And Kendrick Lamar was like, nah. You could look at that like that was a lame move, because that could have been such a massive thing for hip hop to have two giants of this era, Drake and Kendrick, put their differences to the side, do the opposite of Pac and Biggie, and come together and give us this record. But we didn't get it, and here we are now. J. Cole, during I believe the Carmello Anthony interview, confirmed the theory that I've been saying for a while at this point. J. Cole had an album finished that was supposed to be The Fall Off, and then the beef happened and he had to scrap it. J. Cole pretty much confirmed that. He said he had this body of work that he was ready and holding for over 8 years and that he wanted to release, but after the battle happened, and especially after he apologized, he was like, it was no way possible that he was going to be able to release this project that he was ready to give to the world, the one that allegedly had 2 Kendrick verses, allegedly, according to Maul, had 1 or 2 Drake verses. We were supposed to get a completely different album, and then we got the one that we got a few months ago. That battle ruined so much stuff. Like, are we ever going to get music from that original Fall Off album? Are we ever going to hear the alleged J. Cole and Kendrick records? I doubt it. Are we ever going to get the alleged Drake and Cole records that was supposed to be on that album? I doubt it. What good did this battle do? J. Cole also confirmed that Drake was supposed to be at that Dreamville Fest that J. Cole infamously apologized at. And Cole said he was also trying to get Kendrick Lamar at that same festival. Could you have imagined J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick? Maybe, I don't even need them on the same stage together, but just to have them at the same festival, that way, I mean, I guess there it could have went left, all right, but could you just imagine for hip hop, like people say, the culture, if J. Cole was able to bring Drake and Kendrick together at Dreamville Fest and it actually turned into a good moment? That damn sure ain't happening. Even with the battle happening, I feel like, I forgot which interview it was, but I feel like J. Cole said that Drake called him and was like, look, I don't want to put you in a weird spot with me coming there, because when I come there, you know the energy the 6 God bringing. And he was like, look, I don't even want to put you in that position, especially with how J. Cole was having some sort of internal conflict with himself. And ultimately, we all know what happened. J. Cole got on that stage. It's like, I get it. He looked kind of crazy, but he took himself out. The after effects from that battle, hip hop is cooked. Like, hip hop is nothing but a civil war. Like, for some people, Kendrick Lamar can do absolutely nothing positive, because if you like Drake, you're just automatically going to say it's trash. The same thing with Drake. Whenever Drake drops Iceman, people already have in their drafts tweets ready to go, this album is trash, this album is garbage. It is nothing that Drake can do, because for some Kendrick fans, they're automatically going to say this is trash. It's just this battle created stan wars where it's just stans. Like if you say something negative about Drake, they're automatically going to assume you're a Kendrick Lamar stan. If you say something about Kendrick Lamar, they're automatically going to assume you're a Drake stan. Cole did confirm something that I thought was hilarious because it was one story that came out during the battle that I for sure thought this was real, because this story was way too specific, and I'm like, damn, this dude, he a real one, man. He told Cole what it was. He made sure Cole was good, made sure Cole could get out the way. And J. Cole confirmed that this entire story was absolute bull. It was a story that Schoolboy Q at the beginning of the battle went to J. Cole and said, yo, this battle is gonna go left. You don't want to do this. J. Cole said that story is 100% false. He also spoke about some of the Kendrick Lamar diss records. I believe it was Not Like Us. Kendrick said that Drake, you did, Cole foul, or something like that. J. Cole himself said, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Now, does that mean Kendrick is lying? No, maybe Kendrick knows something that J. Cole doesn't. But from J. Cole's perspective, J. Cole's like, bro, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And like for me, yes, I'm a Drake fan, but I've never liked Not Like Us from the beginning. I've always thought that song was some bullshit. 2 of the 3 verses on that song is garbage. I hate the whole battle talk in general, but it's just so much like goalpost moving over the years to me that has been absolutely hilarious. Because when Kendrick Lamar first dropped all his diss records, you know what people were saying? Everything Kendrick is saying is facts, 100% facts. And then as time goes on, it's like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. And then the goalpost moves. Because I remember when he dropped Meet the Grams and he said, Drake, you got a daughter. Everybody was like, oh, snap. Drake got a daughter. You had a bunch of weird ass dudes on the internet posting pictures of children saying that this is Drake's daughter. Those were just random children. On Not Like Us, he said Drake did J. Cole foul. J. Cole said, I don't know what you're talking about. On Not Like Us, Kendrick said, you run to Atlanta, you coach a vulture, Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. Niggas in Atlanta outside of Future and Metro, like Young Thug, Baby, I feel like Offset, other people, Quavo, other people from Atlanta, they're like, nah, we like Drake. Drake is cool. Kendrick Lamar and Not Like Us said that Drake slept with Lil Wayne's girl while he was in jail, and which people keep pushing that story for some reason, when Lil Wayne wrote an entire book himself years ago saying that's not what happened. He found out Drake in the past slept with his girl while he was in jail, not that Drake slept with his girl while he was in jail. It's a difference, but people don't care. So it's just all these lines that Kendrick had throughout the battle, which for me, at the end of the day, I don't really care, but it's just funny to see people move the goalposts, because at first everything he said was facts. And then when people were saying, that's not true, people said, oh, well, you know, actually in the battle, it doesn't matter. Who lies better? You're just trying to embarrass your opponent. And it's like, oh, so now that it seems like he's lying in some aspects, it's cool. Also, something else that J. Cole talked about in an interview that, I mean, I don't care at the end of the day. It doesn't really change how I look at him. I feel like J. Cole, I will say with all these interviews, he seems like one of those dudes that's too nice. Like, I feel like I'm a good dude. I feel like I'm a nice dude, but you're not going to slap me in the face and then I'm not going to do nothing. You know, he just seems like he's going to be like, ha ha ha, you got me good there. J. Cole seems like he's too nice to people, because I'm torn, because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really change how I look at him, but it also kind of does. But it was one point, I believe also this was the Carmello Anthony interview. He talked about how he doesn't feel like he's honestly the best, which one of J. Cole's things from the beginning of his career is, I'm the greatest, I'm gonna be the greatest, I'm the best ever, blah, blah, blah. And years go by now, you're doing an interview saying, yeah, all that's fake. It's kind of like when you realize wrestling isn't real, like you realize Kane really isn't the Undertaker's brother, because I still think Cole is one of the greatest. And like Cole in the past, he's made references to him shooting guns and I'm gonna load the chopper, let it rain on you, I'm a buster, whatever. I don't think J. Cole will actually shoot a gun, but it's something like saying like, I'm the best. I feel like just as a rapper and anything you do in life, I feel like you should be like telling yourself, I'm the best. And to know that J. Cole doesn't truly feel that way, whether you believe it or not, from his perspective, whether you believe that you are or not, you can't say that. I was born in 1994. I remember when T.I. came out and said, I'm the king of the South. He ain't asked anybody their permission. He just said, I'm the king. And then some people had an issue with it. I remember when Lil Wayne was in the era of Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, T.I., whoever, Scarface, Black Thought, everybody, right? All these greats, 50 Cent, The Game, all these greats. Lil Wayne said, I'm the best rapper alive. He ain't ask anybody their permission. He ain't like, yo, do you mind if I say this? He said, nigga, I am the best. And at that time, I feel like Wayne truly believed he was. He respected, I'm sure, Eminem and Jay-Z and everybody. But to to Lil Wayne's brain, he said, I am the best. And I feel like that's how GOAT rappers should feel about themselves. If Kendrick Lamar was like, yeah, I mean, I know I say I'm the greatest, but I don't really think I am. I would kind of look at Kendrick differently. Like with Drake, when Drake says he's the GOAT and he's the greatest of all time, I truly believe he feels that way. But at this point, I don't know. If Drake came out and was like, nah, I'm not actually the GOAT. Travis is better than me. Cole and Kendrick is better than me. I'm gonna be like, Drake, what are you doing? But Cole being too nice, it's like, all right, bro. It's just been a lot that I feel like people have learned about J. Cole. And this has just been another reminder that comprehension skills in America is in the gutter. Like whether it's verbal or reading comprehension, America needs help. America needs your prayers. Because J. Cole has said some things. He's talked about a bunch of different things. Like J. Cole got attacked because he talked about the Diddy. Well, he didn't talk about the Diddy situation with Cam'ron. He just said, yeah, it did happen. The stories that people say is some truths, but most of it is a lie. And he said he didn't want to talk about it because he didn't want to kick Diddy while he's down. That's not a big deal to me. Some people are interpreting that as him trying to support Diddy. And he's like, bro, with Diddy, it's already a lot of BS that goes around that conversation. And him talking about that, because you can have people that saying he's trying to take shine away from Cassie. He's doing this, he's doing this. Y'all know how people are on the internet. I just looked at it like, bro, yes, it happened, but nothing positive is going to come out about me talking about this particular issue that happened 13 years ago. One thing that Cole talked about that I did think was hilarious during the Carmello Anthony interview, I think Monica asked him about features and if he had features that he didn't really like or something like that. And he talked about the Lil Durk song, All My Life, or whatever that song is called. And it was absolutely hilarious because J. Cole said out of his own mouth, I ain't want that record to come out. It sounded too positive. People would expect me to do this record, but it's not something that I feel like we should do together. And he said Durk was the one that was really pushing that record. Granted, it was successful. I think he got a Grammy nomination. That song is fucking terrible. I hate that song so much. That song is garbage. And to me, I just thought it was hilarious that J. Cole was like, yeah, I ain't really like that. But I'm just happy that J. Cole is doing interviews, especially when it comes to my generation GOAT rappers. We don't see a lot of them actually do interviews. So shout out to J. Cole. He's giving us a lot of information. I want to get over the beef that happened. People keep saying move on and people keep talking about it. I guess I'm guilty in this aspect, but let's just move on, especially after Iceman. Let's never talk about this again. And let's just move on because hip hop needs help, bro. Hip hop is in a really bad place right now. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on J. Cole over the last few days with just everything that we've learned over the last few days? He's talked about a lot about the battle. Like, how do you feel about the whole first-person shooter situation? How do you feel about J. Cole and how he's been handling himself in general? Like I said, some people on the internet are pissed, especially about the I'm not the actual greatest of all time. That had a lot of people upset. For me, I'm torn on it because it doesn't really change how I look at him, but it is kind of disappointing to hear. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It is a lot to talk about, but thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.